so happy 'cause I'm a gummy bear, gummy bear. Fucking
Hey everybody, Captain Jim James here with your weekend brief. I think the last video I did was on Friday for over the weekend. So I figured I'd do one more for Monday morning. And just wanted to talk about the economic calendar quickly. Well, first off, I hope you all had a great weekend. Where I'm living, we've lost power for I think 5 days now. And then it turned back on earlier today for about an hour, and then it shut off again. So I'm grateful that I have generators, although I did have to break out some portable ones as well. But I don't know, I've got neighbors with no generators, no solar, and so I do feel for them. And there are trees down everywhere. But I'll fucking tell you what, I heard this argument this week that our state was too large to bury power lines. What's crazy is the 10 states that are larger than us all have buried power lines. You run the big transmission lines in the sky, but from my perspective, it's definitely greed, corporate greed, and then union greed. And I like unions. I'm not anti-union, but everyone's there to make a buck. Everybody's making a buck, and they up rate charges when these events happen. So, anyways, it just sucks it sucks mostly for the consumer. So, anyways, moving on from that rant. Hope you all had a great weekend. Coming up this week, we do have some economic news to look forward to. The big ones are the Home Builders Index, or at least to me, the Home Builders Index. Building permits, housing starts. The FOMC meeting minutes on Monday are big right over here. And then, of course, we've got claims and continuing claims on Thursday. Now, on Tuesday, it's not listed here, but we do have a conversation with the chair at 1:30 on Tuesday with Chair Powell. It's a virtual town hall. I would expect some volatility leading into this. I guess the only real unknown would be, are the people asking the questions pre-screened for this event or not? If they're not pre-screened and you've got someone from Main Street up there, they have a potential to lash out. So I'm interested in the conversation with Jay Powell on Tuesday, and then of course the meetings on Wednesday. I think this does set us up this week for a down week, but I do not think this is the pullback that everyone thinks we're going to have. I don't think it's necessarily getting started this early. I think that we're going to have a down week, and then we're going to keep going up until September. So I know that everyone's talking about this is the top, or we're having a pullback right now, or it's begun. And if you look at futures, futures show that same thing, that we look like we're going down here this week. I don't think it's going to be as severe as some would expect. And let's get into that right now. I want to look at ES real quick for you and just talk about ES. And we're going to do this chart here. And from scratch, actually, I wound up signing up for a pro account on TradingView, and we'll talk later about a watch list that I'm building so that we can enter plays together and see how we perform. I was on Twitter and said, $100, but you can do it with 1,000, 10,000. I just figured if you're a new trader and you wanted a place to begin, this might be a good time. So this is our, generally established trend line that we have here, right? We all see that one. We can pretty much guarantee that we buy here. We might dip lower. In the past we have, dipped lower than our established trend lines that we've had established. You can see this one right here. This is October 20th of last year. And some people want that pullback, that lower pullback. So we can put another one in there. We can go slightly lower. This is a killer right here. If we ever go this low, this will burn an account, especially if you don't scale in your dip buying, right? And this isn't If we go past this line here, we'd be in bear country. Everything over here is bear country. But this is still bull country in here. This is still a bull thesis. Even if we don't break this trend that hasn't been broken since October of last year. We could actually clean this up even more. Somewhere up in there. So you've got, this is all bull country, this is all bear country. And we even have some more minor supports in here, which I think will be respected at least until the start of September. So there you go. You've got these three buy areas, right? Buy zones. This is where you start to make entries if you're a bull. Now we're going to also talk about where the top is. Where is the top, right? That's what everybody wants to know. Where is the top, or where is resistance? So we'll put this one in here. Let me get this to move a little bit. Let me switch cursors here so you don't have to look at my, call that a top right there. See that one? Even lower this one here a little bit. You could push it up above there, but the thing to remember here is once we start getting up here, they always come back, right? Eventually. Even this one here. Let's say you're up here, right? And we grind a little bit higher, we still pull back. It's not like we jump above here and then move into this new higher trading range, right? We always eventually come back. And we have another established, to make this like a 1 point. We already have, a top over here that we're going to talk about as well. This has been established for some time, right? We already know that we kind of top out somewhere in this area. That's kind of where we're at right now. We trade higher? Yeah, we can trade up here. That would be the extreme, right? Say we get crazy with it. We're like, okay, we're going to go. How high can we go? I think that helps right there. I think this is the one that everyone's kind of looking for. Where do we sell in here? And where are we at right now? So let's look on a smaller time frame. Let's auto this up here. Let's get even smaller. The thing I want you all to see is we spent all this time in here, and we dipped down right here. We found demand and buyers, pushed us back up. We have four, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 times to try to drop it. And the market said, no, you're not dropping it. So we went up, right? And this should have been an indicator as well that they wanted one more stab at higher prices. So we've got, this is what? We know this is the market telling you. We know this is the big boys telling you, no, this is not where we want the market, right? So then we got another 2 here. Retest, told no's who went higher. We did it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then boom, we're higher. And disregard this right here. Disregard this, these red futures over here. These aren't really relevant to what we're talking about right now. What we need to know is how high can it go, right? So this is 449, 3.75. We know way up here is 45, 44, 45, 43. And this is a big stretch for us to go this high. But again, let's look at all this consolidation. Do you think that all of this consolidation here and all of this consolidation here was so that we crash down here or down here or down here? I highly doubt that. I really am doubting that, the dip buyers that bought down here, the market dip buyers that bought here, here, and here said, oh, we're only going to take it from 43.63 to 44.51. I find that hard to believe that the greed ends right here. Now, if they wanted to double down where in their positions or go for max gains, you've got more people piling in right here, right? So these people still haven't been paid. None of these people that have come into the market have been paid yet for their positions. So here and here, this is really where we had people entering the market, or we had large groups, big banks entering the market. Let's call this smaller banks, trying to get a little bit of window dressing for OPEX. And so that's my thought process, is that into OPEX, we might dip down slightly. So let's call OPEX. Let's take a look at where OPEX is. And OPEX is on what, the 20th? Right there. Somewhere in there is OPEX. That's late on OPEX, but it's somewhere. Let's just call it this. Let's say this is 4 p.m. It's 4:30. Close enough, right? Get a little bit closer. So that's end of day on Friday. So let's say we go sideways the rest of the week, right? Let's say we go sideways, catch some small dips, right? We expand this trading range a little bit. Maybe we come back down here. Maybe we touch or test down here on Friday at some point. So let's say we head sideways or even down from now until Friday. So we're down to 4,400, let's call it. Let's say the worst we're going to be this week is 4,400. And you might be thinking to yourself, oh, well, we have an expansion of trading range. It's going down. I have this thought process that we're not going down, that we're going to go to 440, test it, get one last pile in by these big banks, and they are going to send it up to 45.10. So I think we're going to come down, retest these levels down below, make sure everybody's still game on, make sure all the bears are in, right? Every last bear is inside, and then they're going to send this up into September, let's call it, either September, anywhere from or August 23rd to September 2nd, let's say. They're going to try to push this up to 450. So my call is not bearish. My call is that we come down here, retest. If the test holds, we're going to hit 450 between now and, let's call it September 2nd at the latest. So when you see this happen over this week, the course of this next week here, if you're bearish, I would not. I mean, you could get bearish now until we come down into this 440 zone, but I would definitely be taking profit to see what the reaction is down here this week, because I think this is a bear trap being laid for the bull push up to 450, all based upon all this money that's back here. I mean, all this money that's been put into the market back here is not telling me that we're just going to sell it all off in the coming week. So keep this in mind as we move forward this week. Some key levels you're going to be looking for tomorrow, of course, if we do start to head down. We already know we're probably going to test 40. We're probably going to test here. What is this? 44.45.5. Look below to 44.28.25, 44.12.75, and of course these numbers are going to change as the weeks go on. And then 43.93, 43.36, or 43.67. This would be a complete sell-off tomorrow into Tuesday. But as we head into Friday, the damage is, you're talking about shaving 10 points off every day we move towards Friday. So the bears have to get moving down here to get some sort of pullback, or we're just going to bleed off into Friday, which is what I'm expecting. I think, Monday we're slightly down. Tuesday we're down maybe slightly more, a small bounce back up and trading here. Wednesday is all doom. That sends us into Thursday down to 43. Now it's 43.9, right? 4.25. So I'm seeing this. This reminds me of a classic bear trap. And what I'm going to show you here, I want to take you back somewhere in the past to show you the last one that we had like this. And this whole month has been playing out just like 2020. Do I think that it's going to be the same as 2020? Believe it or not, the banks, they do a lot of the same things over and over again, especially if they work. Let's just take a look back here. You know, this right here, this is what? October 6th, October 7th, right? Let's look back in. Let's look a little bit farther back. Let's look back in August. And what do we have right here? Does this look familiar to any of you? It's looking pretty familiar. And in August, this is August 20th right here, or 21st. This is the 19th. And our OPEX in 2021, I believe, was on the 21st. So you had, you know, we had one dip, right? We caught the bears here. Then the bulls probably didn't buy this. The bears stayed in, doubled down, and it didn't come crashing down. What actually happened was we launched up. And I bet bears and bulls probably missed most of this move. And most of this move, the bulls probably missed as well, right? So you've burned a bunch of bears. You've fueled a rocket up to this all-time new high up here. This is an insane high. And this lasted until September 2nd. You know, so which one of these tops here do you buy? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One pullback and you go, okay, I'm buying this one, and then 8, all the way up to come crashing down. So this area here, from now, let's call it August 15th, right? This is the 15th last year. From now until September, none of this is safe. Now, if you want to get bearish right now, you probably can. You can probably buy yourself some bull puts, or not bull, bear put spreads that are dated far enough out that you don't have to worry about this nightmare scenario right here. If you're a bull, you can't really buy this and expect this to happen, right? This may happen, this may not happen. We may just come up here and come straight down. Let's say we go crazy high. If you're a bull, right, you have what, let's call it, even, let's say nobody knows what's going to happen. If you're a bull, let's just give you a 50-50 chance that we go up. Now, if you're a bear, no matter what, with enough time, you know we're going down. As a bull, let's say you bought this week, we wouldn't see this price action again for months. Let's look right here. November 20th, holiday rally. So, okay, if you want to get bullish this week, you could buy some December outside the money calls and hold them until they print. And you could also buy some bear spreads, some put spreads, and more than likely they're going to start printing by first week of September, right? So if let's say you get these call spreads right now, you have 50% chance of them printing from now until September 2nd or around there, first week of September or whatever. Or you're going to have to hold them until November, December area, somewhere in there. Or you just start going short now, right? I don't know if I'd go short on ES with contracts on ES. Maybe. I don't know that I don't know that I would do that. I think bear spreads are the way at this point. And you just start dating them for somewhere in the middle of September. I think this is 17th. This is the 24th, 21st. You've got easy areas to short down here to 10th, 11th, 17th, 21st, 24th. I mean, you really can't go wrong. And let's just say we keep going down, or this is another trap down here. You could make them even later. You could make them just October 30th. Put spreads, and they're going to print. And you know, last week I talked about buying or placing 10 trades that have a high probability of hitting, and I think the first trade is going to be a bear trade on SPY. I think that if I place something that's, you know, September, October, nice and low in this bottom channel down here, which we already have written, it's probably going to print. I'm going to put that print at like a 70 to 90% chance. Pretty good chance that we're going to catch that print at some point between now and October, right? Or November. What do we call that? October 30th. Between now and October 30th, I'll catch that print or close to it. Even if it just let's say the bear put spread is it's $100 for $200. I only need it to print 50%. That's it. If I get it to print 50% and I get the 100 on the 100, that's actually 100%, right? So we'll start. We're going to turn. I think it takes 10 trades going all in. I think it takes 10 trades to get to 100 grand with $100. So we're gonna do some. We're gonna make sure that we're making trades that are pretty fair chance of them happening, right? They're not going to be. They're going to be outside the money, but not crazy outside the money. We're going to put enough time on them to make them print, and we're going to teach you how to be able to quit your job forever. I bet if you followed this trading plan, you'd never have to work again. That's my guess. So let's go back over here to ES again, and that's what I'm going to call for. Some sort of a slow bleed off. It could be fast, it could be slow, but somewhere we're targeting somewhere down in here from now until Friday, and then I'm thinking a push up to 450. So let's say if we hit this trend line any day this week. I don't care if it's on Friday to Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, whatever. We hit this trend line down here or anywhere down in here. I'm probably gonna put some longs in and look for that 450. And I'll make them let's call them 3 month out bull call spreads, and I'm also gonna buy, or I think I already bought my bear put spread, so I'll hold those down to this area here. I will look to enter to go long on this support down here, and if let's say it doesn't go there, I'll have until November or December for those to print, and if we continue down here, I will put more on. I'll get more aggressive with my put structure if we continue to go down. So the call for this week on ES or in SPY is to look for a retest down below somewhere in here to go long. So I'm going to get my put debit spreads to hopefully get them to print down here. I'll pull those off somewhere down in here. If we don't hold support and continuing coming through, I'll get more aggressive with weekly or daily puts. But if we don't break through here, I'm going to go long to 450, somewhere up in there. Let's take a look once more over here. I'll look to go long to 452. Let's call it 452, 7.75 for one last push up for the end of August. And then I'll go deep into puts over here. We'll end up selling off somewhere in here. So that's my call for this week on ES and SPY. Let's take a quick look at NQ. And NQ is showing this rollover a little bit better. You start to see the rolling over of NQ. And it is possible for SPY to stay up and NQ to be rolling over. NQ to find some support for that last push up, and IWM. And I'm going to show you, I think I can show you here how all this connects to each other. How you're going to see us fall slightly this week and yet not break through. This is going to be the neat thing. So you're looking for the same thing over here. Let's go on a year chart. You can already see it right here. You can always see already see some support. And you're going to look for the big dip. That's down here. And this is the one that's going to fall. If you wanted to short something this fall, it probably is NQ or Nasdaq or the Qs or whatever. But I don't see this coming just yet. I think that it doesn't happen like we think it's going to happen. I don't think we're going to get the fall that people think we're getting. And if you see energy, let's say you see some of the other underlying SPX or ES, the underlying indexes can prop that up longer than NQ can stay up, right? So we're going to look for a falter here. One last push up here for the end of August. Let's say it's right there. And we're going to be looking for some support. Let's get a little bit closer. See where all the doom and gloom is for NQ. You know, let's say NQ comes down here, right, and just dribbles. That doesn't mean that SPY can't keep going up, is my point behind the underlyings in SPY. SPY can keep going up as long as NQ holds at a certain level. And, you know, if that happens for the next, let's call it 2 weeks, let's see here. Pushed all the way up here, found some support down below. Let's start right here. We know he had heavy support down here, right? We know he came up, down, told no, huge push up. Came back down, we've got trap buyers above, right? Came back up, trap buyers tried to get out, right? Came back up, we had more sellers, got out, right? Came back up and found a little bit more new support down in here. So we've exhausted sellers here. We've taken on some new buyers here. And we know that we've got some support generally right here. So let's look for, tomorrow let's look for 14,989 as a medium support, right? And we know we've got this trend coming up here. I'm expecting 14,989. And then I would say that we end the day for consolidation for the rest of the week. And surprise, surprise, look what we've got over here. We've got Friday. Here's Friday. It's always funny how these things work themselves out, right? So let's say we come down here. We're going to touch 14,992, and then we're going to slowly build some consolidation here. And I expect we do rip higher. We're going to probably try to retest this 15,168 and might even go much higher than that. One last rip into the fall season. We have all this consolidation here. We have all this consolidation here. I do think NDX is rolling over, but it wouldn't surprise me to see it. This is August 27th, right? Over here. Would not shock me to see people selling out their positions before we roll over from now until the beginning of September on Nasdaq. That means if you're long Nasdaq that you should get the fuck out, right? And let's just take a look at RTY, because my feeling is that RTY is, the rut is about to roll over in a big way. Unlike Nasdaq and SPX, I have this sneaking suspicion that the big boys want one more dip buy down here to make a big move up. So I think that IWM small caps is going to fail. I think small caps is going to lose its value from now until mid-September and recover faster for a push up in those months. So let's take a look at September 15th or so. Well, I think that I looked earlier today and the 17th was expiration date. I'm going to go with just something like that. I'm going to go with NWM coming down, bouncing up, coming down, dribbling into September 15th, and then a rocket ship straight up. So that's what I'm calling for IWM. Let's go on a smaller scale on IWM as well. And this is kind of your play area, right? Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this right here. And this is going to be your new play area for IWM. And you're going to set some support and resistance lines here as well. You know we've got one down here. You've got this consolidation phase. You know you've got some high demand down here, right? Somewhere down here. So you want to set an alert down here somewhere. Probably first alert here, second alert here. And we can go backwards a little bit. Let's actually scale out slightly. Let's auto this. Yep, you've got major support down here. You can see the major support here, major support here. This is a great dip buy. We played this one. It was amazing. We've got this trend line going up, but it's been broken. You can see that it's broke at this point. We kind of expected this, especially after Friday's action. And you can see we're in futures right now. We're dipping below. And this shouldn't go too much deeper. They're placing it down here to either go on a fishing expedition or to take IWM down deeper to get more value, right? They're going to want value to push IWM up. So tomorrow we're going to look for 219, 7.7, and 2181.4 as areas of support, even if they reclaim these areas of support. So I'm not looking for small caps to make the same moves as SPX or NDX. My thought process is that you're going to look for support here in this area, but in reality, more than likely you're going to see this come down and test below, shoot back up, test below, shoot back up, test below, into this triangle. And this triangle is going to last somewhere. This is September 17th, right? This is I don't know if this is OPEX for September, but I bet it is. And then you'll see a shoot back up. So play within this box. You can be going short here, taking it down to here, up and down, up and down. All right. As we move forward on IWM, I am bearish to at least 219, 219.79, 218.81.3, and where I really think we're going is 21.44.7 at least, if not slightly lower. These people are greedy. You think I'm greedy? These guys can get very greedy. You might see one last drop down here. It might not be here. It might be when you've exhausted the last bulls in here, and we'll dip down lower. And we'll look at this as time goes forward. But you can still play within this range in IWM. This might be the best playground right now for action in the market. I mean, you look at these moves in here, and if you're day trading, swing trading, any of those things, IWM has been where the money has been at the last 2-3 weeks. This is where it's at. This is where the money is right now. This is where the money's coming and going. There's a lot of action here. There's a ton of money to be made. If you don't play IWM, I recommend that you start to learn it. So I signed up for this TradingView for a subscription. If you look over here, I've got this YouTube watch list that I'm creating, popular tickers, and I'm going to chart all of them out and make videos over the next couple days here. I'll do a live stream as soon as my power is back on. I'm going to do a live stream so you guys can give me shout outs for tickers to chart out for you, so you can see where you should be getting long and getting short and start making some money. I hope this helps. Expect if I can get power back on here at my house, expect some live streams coming out this week. And I'll start to release some videos with just these other tickers. And let's do Tesla real quick before I shut the video down. And I did this one earlier today. And again, we know where our buy zone is, or buy here. We buy somewhere up in here, right? So we can add one more. Whoa. On our right up, right? Bring this just a little bit lower. So for you value-driven Tesla buyers, you're going to be buying this line right here, right? For any of you aggressive bulls, you're going to be buying this line right here. So you're going to be looking for a retest here tomorrow at 698.43. Your aggressive bulls are going to step in at 667.93. and your value-driven bulls aren't getting into anything until it's way down here, right? 640 or so. Do I think we're coming down to 640? We're going to lose 60 points? I don't think right now. I think we might in September. This is September over here. We might start breaking through here. And I'm also going to be looking for some resistance. I've got this up here at 670, but I don't believe that. I think we're still burning off some of these trap buyers over here. So you've got people, or not guys, you've just got people that are buying in right here and getting trapped. All these are trap buyers. These are all trap buyers right here. And these sellers right here, a lot of them are trapped from up here. All these people that are long from way down here, they really don't care right now. It's these people right here that just want out, right? So as soon as you exhaust all these people, you're going to get a push much higher. And what is that much higher? Well, we know people are going to get scared at 650 or not 643. Well, probably going to get scared at 647, 643. They're going to get scared and spooked, right? And if we've exhausted all these sellers over here, we could make a move much higher. We could make a move between now and let's call it September 2nd. To 786. I see that happening. Now you just have to, as we've talked about before, right? We've got trapped sellers up in here that just want to get out, right? You're exhausting them. Well, you exhaust some right here, and then you exhausted a bunch more hiding and a bunch more that are hiding here. And now we're in this zone where we've exhausted sellers, right? People don't want to sell anymore. You're starting to find buyers and demand down here. So let's look for a small dip down to 698.43, possibly even as deep as 678.69 if it looks like the fake end of the world, that big bear trap that we're talking about heading into the end of the week. So maybe you wait to buy some Tesla. I don't know. I can't recommend what you do. I'm probably going to wait to go long again on Tesla until we hit this 697 or we kind of dribble out into Friday. Where's Friday? Let's find out where Friday is. Because that's where I think we're going to get our spike. So here's the 20th, right there. So I'm going to expect a down week. 699.02 should be the worst of it. The worst case scenario, 666. That's going to suck if it goes that deep. But from this point forward, I'm expecting a push up to reclaim 786.93. Is definitely on the table. 741 is very reasonable. If you were to get the 750 calls and maybe date them up far enough out, let's call it September 2nd. We can put another date in there. This will be a push. If we get one more retest down here and push up, you're talking, what is that? 60, almost 100 points in a couple weeks. This can happen. So I'm still bullish on Tesla, looking for another better buy-in opportunity somewhere down here. These are great buying opportunities down here. Bring it even closer. And we'll do the auto button. You can see it right here, right? You see this first support here, 698.48. There really isn't much holding you up from falling all the way down here. You could put one more in if you wanted to. One more show of support somewhere here. Let's call it right here. So 698.66, 682.97. Though I don't think it's unreasonable for us to come down and retest, even if it's for a brief moment down here for a rocket ship back up. If you are a new trader, please talk to your friends about these videos. If you know a new trader, you see a trader that's always losing, or making losing trades, getting angry with themselves, let them know about me so that we can start making some trades together and see if we can build a nice fat bankroll. The thing you want to be doing is remembering too that seasonally, this time when you want to be taking cash off the table, right, out of the market, and being ready to buy in spring, right, when March comes around and May comes around, you want to be able to deploy cash into new opportunities, right? You don't want to stay long in some of these stocks throughout the winter. I know that some perma bulls will tell you, yes, just buy and never sell. But if you really want to make money in this market, this is seasonally when we start to take our longs off the table that we've made a lot of money in, go short, make some money, and then reboot, right? In the springtime in March. Oh, we're going to catch that holiday swing that we keep talking about, November and December. And then we're going to take our money off the table once more, put it to use this spring. So start thinking ahead. Start thinking about not just tomorrow, but what we're doing for the rest of the year, what we're going to be doing for the springtime. And if you're a bear, nothing in this market is saying that we're entering a bear market. I don't see anything here that's saying we're coming into a bear market. So until we get into bear country, I mean, let's go back to ES. You want to talk about us being in a bear market? There it is right here. All down here is bear country. And until you get down in here, right? If you hear anyone, I don't give a fuck who they are. You fucking hear anyone on Twitter, Wall Street Bets, fucking, what's that other shit stock one? Stock Twits or whatever, talking about fucking bear markets, they can shut the fuck up until we're down here. Until we're down below here, right? They got nothing. That's like fucking saying you're in a bull market when you're down here. You're not. If we're down in here and a bull's telling you we're in a fucking bull market, they're fucking lying, right? So don't listen to these fucking bears until we get down here. By the time we get down here, their fucking accounts would be dead. Fucking gone. So I don't know. Keep hearing this shit from bears, and it's like, these fucking guys are on fucking these social medias accounts, right? And they make you lose all your fucking money. Sorry to say so many fucks, but that shit's mind-blowing. You should be playing this bull market on a macro scale. We are in a fucking bull market, period. And you can play the downward moves until we get into a bear market. Once we're in a bear market, I can be full-time bear, no problem. And you guys can switch too. You'll have no problem switching over. But some of these perma bears do a huge disservice to new traders. And you get sucked into this, and it's easy to get sucked into this negative, the world is ending kind of a box that you get put in. And you get into this little box, and your brain starts telling you that the stock market's going to end and it's going to burn. And, it might burn, but you already have tools in place and rules in place to not lose your whole account. You shouldn't ever be trading more than 10 to 30% of your account at any one time. So if you are, then I don't know what to say to you. I don't care if you're a bull or a bear. But if you're a trader, if you're an investor, you should always be ready to deploy more cash. You should always be ready and the easiest way to be ready for a bear market is to only be trading 10 to 30% of your account at any one time anyways, right? And then you've got these, and then once we do get into a bear market, when these bears start talking, I don't know, like, I've got cash to become a bear. So they did me no service. They didn't do me any fucking service to tell me that a bear market was eventually going to hit. So keep that in mind when you're trading. Be nimble. Be ready to turn bearish when you need to, but not full-blown bear until we get down here. Be ready, if you're a bear, for some sort of a pullback, but possible bear trap heading up into the end of August. Hope that helps. Rant over. I'll see you all on Monday. And I hope the fucking power comes back on.
I'm so happy because I'm a gummy bear, gummy bear. Fucking motherfucker! Oh, I guess there's only one way out of this.